I have found the stupidest article ever written about Corona. Behold in all its dumbfounding glory, our leader's handling of the coronavirus, ranked by some cunt called Rowdy McLean. Yeah, that's his name. And look, I'm perfectly aware that 10 Daily just went defunct, but you're not getting away with a whimper. Come on everyone, let's dance on their grave. Rowdy believes he's earned his stripes to discuss governing as he's a lifelong learner. Yeah, I guess that's a qualification. Has your master's degree in business administration. Oh, finally! Someone with a background in business that has the arrogance to think that's the same as governing. Well, making money and making laws is still making things, isn't it? He's a fellow of the Australian Institute of Management and a graduate of the Disney Institute. Whoa, bragging that your professor's RC. Look at his website. You tell me he shouldn't have just written, I was scammed and now I'm bragging about it. So with that very impressive background of having no background at all in what he's discussing, let's look at his rankings. Jacinta Ardern, score. AAA+. What's the reason for that, Rowdy? I've seen her on Colbert. You just know that's why, because this is Rowdy's justification for how she's earned a score so positive it doesn't even exist. The Prime Minister of New Zealand's star continues to rise. She is the best of the world's leaders right now. Yes. That is exactly how experts in their field talk. Two extremely vague sentences in their field of expertise. I'm not taking it away from Ardern. She's definitely up there with the best responders in the world, but the reason he got that correct is the same reason you got a pass mark in year 4 for a book you didn't read. Tashi is about, an elf? Sit down, Lloyd. Okay. The reason she deserves praise is because New Zealand, unlike Australia, acted on it as soon as they heard about it, not 3 months down the track, and as a result, this was their numbers during the peak of the outbreak. New Zealand,
lowest death rate
in the developed world. Australia, despite having all the natural barriers New Zealand does, 9th. With that in mind, let's see what he gives ScoMo. A+. Whoa!
5.5 times.
It's higher than New Zealand, and at that point he's downgraded to simply the best mark there is. What would he have given Dutton if he directly coughed in his face? B+! B+! The Prime Minister of Australia was going downhill fast after the bushfire debacle, but is now back in the game bigger and better than ever with his handling of this crisis. Sure, ScoMo slipped up a bit, what with the minor teething issues of abandoning the country during its darkest hour, but he's really come into his own by not doing that this time. I'm assuming because all flights have been cancelled. A+. What is one initiative during this entire crisis that Scott Morrison spearheaded? Job seeker? No, that was Albo. Job keeper? No, that was the unions. And as soon as it was put in the hands of the Liberals, they slipped up by a mere, $60 billion. I cannot emphasise how scary that is. Rudd was splayed across all the Murdoch front pages for forcing banks to protect their customers with a mere $733 million bill. The superior economic managers that are the Liberals make an accounting error of $60 billion. 2 Gonski programs because, I forgot to press the plush button. Page 4, no alarmist Photoshop, just Rowdy coming to the rescue with, don't worry ScoMo, I've got your plus right here. It's the biggest accounting stuff up in Australian history! Yeah, and that's why he doesn't get a AAA+. Everyone's got an Achilles heel. All the tough measures Morrison has taken, like shutting down public venues and gatherings, were all spearheaded by the Victorian Labor leader Daniel Andrews, who, speaking of, this is the mark he gives him, A. Rowdy, I've got a question that I really need answered from you, mate. Did you think about this article at all? Or did you just drop a guinea pig on the keyboard and yell, go Speedy, go! How does Scott Morrison get an A+ for leadership while Daniel Andrews is leading Scott Morrison and gets an A? I'm starting to think the Disney Institute isn't all it's cracked up to be. What is this Mickey Mouse operation? He gives Anastasia Palaszczuk a B-. Well, she hasn't been on Colbert. Sorry, my hands are tied. This is what he actually wrote. I haven't changed this. The Premier of Queensland protecting Queenslanders as only Queenslanders will do. Answer me these riddles 3. God, I'm glad you wrote that sentence, Rowdy, because up until now, I thought you were a dumb fuck. Not the best time to be buying an airline. She's interested in Virgin Australia, given the state's already in high debt. You gave Scott Morrison an A+ after plunging this country into $1 trillion of debt from a combination of allowing unbridled corporate tax evasion and using COVID as an excuse to hand out hundreds of billions of dollars to corporate donors. See videos in the description. Yet Anastasia Palaszczuk is snapping up a bargain asset that will prove extremely profitable as soon as this pandemic subsides. Look, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my head around this as someone with a self-advertised business management background. How is owning something that makes money a wise investment? I'll help you out, Rowdy. I'll put it in language you understand. Investors, only investors do. Then he gives Gladys Berejiklian B-. Excuse you? Gladys Berejiklian, Mrs. Let's let in the Trojan horse even though it's not disguised as a horse, gets the same score as the woman that's about to make Queensland rich. Yeah, her unbridled lust for blood is made up for by her excellent communication skills. What's astonishing about that is even if it was true, yeah, she allowed massive amounts of people to contract a fatal disease, but she knows the power of body language. What's even sadder is, it's not true. How does being worried and having a nervous, nerdy laugh scream, "Everyone, gather round the talkies, Gladys is on"? The Ruby Princess has let her down badly though. Prepared to be flexible, she's changing restrictions on pubs and clubs. Oh, okay. The same score as Palaszczuk because it's easier for him to get a schnitzel. Glad to know where your priorities lie, Rouds. Mark McGowan, C-. If he was honest at all, this would just read, up until Corona, I didn't know who he was, and new faces scare me. It'd be better than what he actually wrote. Look at this shit. He's upset many in the AFL with his insistence on a player 14-day quarantine if a match is played in WA. Jesus. This man makes decisions on who's governing well around the all-important subjects of, right, what have they done in regards to footy and crumb chicken? I wish quiet Australians were actually quiet. The Australian media really is just the blind leading the blind, isn't it? A never-ending hydra of idiots repeating the same lies they no longer think are lies because they've been parroted so much by their cesspool platform that inevitably goes out of business and yet are saved every time from doing actual work because, hold your horses, 9Go's having a go at online news now, okay? Why ScoMo fumbled the AFL ball a bit during the fires, but then kicked a fat 6-pointer in the COVIDs. Spoiler, I don't actually have any reasons for thinking that. But there is a click-through ad for Domio. You like that shit, don't you? Come on, do your old pal Rowdy a favour. Click through that. I've got to keep the lights on. Over and over, like living in a cuckoo clock. People who you can tell from their blank faces have never thought about anything more challenging than tax deductions on their Airbnb, not even intentionally spreading Murdoch press propaganda, so stupid that they actually think Murdoch propaganda is the news. Come on, we need a poll on that. Like this video if you think that is way sadder than actually working for Murdoch, regurgitating his points without knowing it because, no, that's the news, it's in a newspaper, isn't it? In other words, you have to like this video because that is way sadder. Come on, I finally cracked this. You have to like this video.
Please share and comment below. Comment.